Pause my shirt.
Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the Sports Talk Network channel. Specifically here tonight, Steve's Wrestling Ramble will be starting off the show talking about Roman Reigns, then heading into predictions for WWE Evolution, the first ever all women's pay-per-view event. And in the main event, we'll be talking about WWE Crown Jewel, the pay-per-view that will be happening already next Friday. So next week's podcast, another prediction podcast episode, the Crown Jewel that will be happening there on November 4th and will be happening in Saudi Arabia. We will be talking about that again, the main event here of the program. But let's start off with the news, the real serious situation going on with Roman Reigns and Joe battling leukemia for a second time for the diagnosis at the age of 22. But before then, let's first welcome our co-host first, Kyron Chase. How are you doing this evening?
What's up? Sorry, I had to turn the Beyonce off. You want me to just start talking, or you want me to let Malik go?
Let Malik talk, and then we'll go right back to you. Malik, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
All right, go ahead, Kyron. What are your thoughts with the Roman Reigns?
Okay, now I'm gonna say this. How did I say? Now, when he came out there and announced what he, about his leukemia, I'm not gonna act like it didn't, put a tear in my eye a little bit. Because I heard rumors he was injured. Like I just saw reports he was injured, but I didn't think it was anything serious. And I see him come out Monday with his street clothes on. Now this would be a red herring because he never comes. He always has his gear on. And when he said my real name is Joe, I said, why is he breaking kayfabe? And he said I have leukemia. I'm not gonna lie. It took a lot of my energy out. Like I just wasn't expecting something like that. And when Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose came out to and hugged him, and Seth started crying. I'm not even gonna act like I didn't shed a few tears myself. To Joanna Hawaii, please get well soon. You're not rich. And it's just nothing. I didn't really pay attention to the rest of Raw after that. I'll be completely honest. I mean, I did watch some things, but I talked to Malik over the last hour Raw beat because really my heart just wasn't in it to watch the show. And it's not saying it because I'm usually don't care about Raw to begin with, but literally any type of negative energy or energy whatsoever I could have had was just sapped out of me to the point where I wasn't even tweeting after that. I didn't really care enough. Though now this is something that I think might hurt Raw though because they put a lot of their eggs in the basket of Roman Reigns for Raw, and their main storyline did revolve around him. With him gone now, I think that's gonna hurt Raw because they weren't, this hit him out of nowhere. And you look at how Raw was, being booked around him as Universal Champion and around the Shield. Now they got to go in a new direction with it, and we thought the end of Raw what that new direction was possibly going to be, but we got to see. And I'm just gonna say this now: until he gets back, I won't say anything negative about him on this show or on my channel until he gets back. Because here's something it's pretty obvious that everyone said. Most people, we don't have a problem with Joe White, the person. It was Roman Reigns' character. And even for me, it wasn't his character. It was how WWE booked him. But in this case, like until he gets back, I won't say anything negative about him.
All right. Malik, your thoughts?
I was kind of speechless for a minute, really. I didn't really know how to take it. I mean, it was obviously sad because nobody really knew what was going on. I knew when he came out in the street clothes, and he never comes out in the street clothes. I was like, it's something new, but I didn't know like what was really happening. I didn't even know he was injured. I didn't even see anything about his injury or anything. I didn't know anything about that. So I mean, I knew that he had cancer before then. I remember seeing something about that a long time ago before then, but I mean, the fact that he has it again, it's pretty sad. It's real sad, and I hope that he can beat it again and come back sometime. Whenever he gets healthy and everything. But that's the main focus he has to focus on right now is his health and getting better. But I mean, other than that, it was pretty sad. I mean, it was really hard to watch Raw the rest of the night because, especially when they kept showing replays over and over again, it was kind of just like, damn, like it's really sad. You know, he's this guy. You know, obviously, a lot of people don't agree with the way he's booked and everything. I understand that, but I mean, he's basically probably the face of the company. I mean, probably the big guy, the biggest star in the company. So I mean, for him to have something serious like that, you know, life threatening like that, it's sad. Especially he's still young. He's only like 33, I think. He's still young. So I mean, he's got his whole life ahead of him. I mean, he's got a wife and kids too. So I mean, it makes it even sadder. In fact, he's got a family. So I mean, like I said, I hope he gets better. I mean, you know, I don't know exactly what kind of treatments he has to go through. I don't know too much about leukemia or cancer or anything like that. I don't know what kind of treatments he has to go through, but I mean, I know he said it was the worst part of his life when he first had to go through it. So I mean, I know the process is gonna suck, but I mean, getting better is the important thing. So I mean, hopefully he gets better and then come back at some time. You know, I mean, if he ever comes back or when he ever comes back, he'll probably get like the biggest ovation you probably ever heard in your life.
Absolutely.
It'll be up there. So I mean, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, so hopefully he gets better and things go well for him and his family.
That's the same thing. First off, you know, we all, well, not all, sometimes some of the WWE universe forgets of the real person behind all these characters, and we're so intrigued in the superstars, whether we like them or dislike them, or whatever our opinion are with said superstars, or any of the WWE superstars. And when something real like this does come up in here with Joe, and you know, now battling for a second time, you know, that then puts you kind of back into reality. You know, and as much as sometimes wrestling is for an escape for some of the WWE universe from the real lives and things, and that's a good thing. You know, that's what they try to do, put smiles on people's faces, as Stephanie McMahon says a lot. You know, you have this situation with Joe, and him battling leukemia for a second time. And when he said that this is the second time he was diagnosed at 22, battled it, kicked his ass, and put in remission then. Now I would feel that this fight is going to be even harder because when cancer comes back the second time, no, I'm no doctor. I'm just going from what I heard and read that no matter what the cancer is, leukemia, breast cancer, whatever it be for the individual and whatever the age, it comes back even worse, and you have to fight it even more aggressively and more in-depth treatment, so to speak. And I'm sure he'll be able to power through it, face it, get the best doctors in the nation. If he can be part of the WWE, he's going to help him out in that way as well, and he'll be able to dash again and defeat it and come back to the WWE, be Roman Reigns again, and everybody go back to as per usual, whether you like or dislike Roman Reigns. And we'll talk about that at that point, and hopefully, I've been very pleasantly happy to see that most reaction from the WWE universe, at least from what I saw on Twitter and social media, have been respectful, showing they have a heart to the man, to the man beneath Roman Reigns, and the serious ability that this does deserve, and not, I haven't really seen any true negative or vitriol. It's usually with Roman Reigns haters with the character, and that's not being there with this announcement, though I have seen one or two that have still wondered if it was a work and thinking it's another way to put him over. And no, this is serious. This is real. This is a man going through cancer for a second time. This ain't time to be that kind of thinking, and whether you're tweeting at him or talking to somebody else and thinking that way. Again, everybody has opinion, but this in reality, in this seriousness, is not the point, and it kind of makes my blood boil when I still see a response in that way to something serious like this. So, for me and everybody part of Team Ramble here, send our thoughts and prayers to Joe, and hope you kick his ass and kick cancer's ass, come back, and we go on from there. You restart your career. The first things first, keep cancer, keep living for your family, keep loved ones, his wife as well. I just wanted to start off with that, as being the biggest news, because the most real news beyond this Saudi Arabian news. And I guess moving forward, we'll just head into WWE Evolution and predicting the card. That is the upcoming pay-per-view. We have this Sunday, the first ever women's only pay-per-view event. Now let's just start from the bottom. We'll start with Toni Storm It was in the Mae Young Classic 2018 Division Finals. They're 1-on-1. And we'll start with Kyron. Who do you have there for the Mae Young Classic Finals?
Oh my God, this pay per view. Oh, this pay per view. This pay per view. I'll get into my negative thoughts when it's time for them because I'm going to start with the positive. Thank goodness. One of the only matches I actually care about. And just a disclaimer: other than the two semifinals, I have not watched the Mae Young Classic, but I did watch the two semifinals matches last night. And my God, was Tony Storm was the first match that damn good. Um, who? This is a tough one to pick because I'm fine with either woman winning this match. I personally want Tony Storm to win because I think she deserves it, and that's who a lot of people want to win more. Though I can see Io Shirai winning also because me and Malik was talking. They're gonna probably do a feud with her and Kairi Sane, but that feud doesn't really need an NYC anyway. And Tony signed to NXT UK while Io is signed to NXT. And for Io, I'm actually, unlike most Asian stars, I have just a tiny bit of faith because she does speak fluent enough English to cut a promo. I've been going back and forth with this one, and I'm actually gonna go hard over head on this. I'm gonna go with Tony Storm because she came close last year. I think she made the semifinals last year, and she's in the finals this year. I'm gonna go with Tony Storm. Even though I wouldn't be surprised if Io Shirai won, I'm gonna pick Tony Storm. This is actually hopefully, and I know Vince is in charge of this show, and I'll get into my problems with that later. Please give this match the time it deserves. That's all I give this match the time it deserves because if you do, this is going to be the match of the night. So I'm going to go with Tony Storm.
All right, Malik.
I'm picking Io Shirai. I think she'll win. I mean, I'm cool with either one of them winning. I like both of them, so I mean, I'm cool with either one winning. But I think they're gonna give it to Io Shirai. I think they're gonna have the back-to-back Asian. Kairi Sane won last year, and I think they're gonna do Io Shirai this year. And that'll probably lead into some type of match with Kairi Sane in the future if she wins Sunday. But I mean, that'll probably lead into some type of match with those two in NXT at some point because I know they've had a couple matches in New Japan that were pretty good. So I mean, I'm picking Io Shirai for that one.
All right.
Whatever the case may be, this should be match of the evening between two highly competitive females, Io Shirai and Toni Storm. They have a lot of pedigree behind them, so it should be a back and forth like you've never seen before. It's probably the most original match on the show. Basically, all the matches on the show are repeats.
Don't worry, Clackman. Don't worry, Clackman. We're gonna get to that. I'm saving it for that. Don't worry.
Okay. So with that being said, well, with two highly competitive athletes there, I give it to Toni Storm because 50-50 booking. Asian won last year, non-Asian one wins this year. So let's go with Toni Storm this time. And if by some miracle Io Shirai does win this, we all know which one they'll give the long-term push to, if you know what I mean.
And for me, I'm going to go with Toni Storm. Toni Storm to get the win here. For the reason of, and the person who won last year, Kairi Sane. I don't think they'll go back-to-back Asian winners, so I'm going to go with Toni Storm getting the win here to win the Mae Young Finals. Next up here is the Riot Squad up against Sasha Banks. And the six-woman tag team contest. Sasha Banks and Bayley may be doing double.
Can we skip this match?
I couldn't roll my eyes any harder right now.
Oh my God!
And yet you're not on camera, so we don't see it. So there you go.
Oh,
can we really just skip this prediction because I don't think anybody can at all.
Oh my God!
He's got to be professional. He's got to do it. It hurts, but he has to do it. He has to be professional. He has to do it.
I'm gonna do my back to back. I'm just gonna pick Sasha Banks and her team.
This 205 live looking match over here.
No, we're talking about when 205 Live wasn't good though.
The match they had yesterday was pretty good though. The match with Mustafa Ali and Hideo Itami was actually pretty good.
I know that's why I said when 205 Live wasn't good, not now. And I don't even watch it, but I know it's good.
Yeah, definitely is improved.
No, like people were shitting on 205 Live off the jump, and people are shitting on this one immediately. You just tack this match on here. Like, just pad the card with this shit. Come on, man.
But Clackman, that's the thing. That's the problem with this entire show. Mostly is that you had this show was enough for 3 months ago, was it? You had all this time to book, and then this match.
Dude, I was there. I was in the crowd when they announced it. I was at the arena.
I know. Didn't you vlog it? Didn't you vlog that part?
Yeah, they announced it, and everybody was like so happy. It was like, oh my god, like this is great.
And what?
And then look at this show, bro.
And Malik, what did I say when they announced it? I said, don't hold your breath because this is just a political PR stunt. And everyone want to say, oh, Kyron just being a negative asshole. Just sit there and enjoy it. Well, how do we look now? This 6-woman tag and the Battle Royal encapsulate everything wrong with this show. When you have 3 months to book this and really, and this is the best you give us, you have 2 women in Sasha and Bayley specifically, but even in Ruby as well, who deserve so much more, but yet a 6-woman tag is the best you can give them. And here's the funny thing. Even though I don't like the Battle Royal, from a kayfabe perspective, this match doesn't make sense either. Wouldn't these 6 women, rather in the kayfabe perspective, rather be in the Battle Royal because the winner gets a title shot? Why would they want a 6-woman tag match? Literally, this is the only match on the card where nothing is at stake. And you know they'll probably just do a rematch the next night on Raw anyway, because here's something I didn't notice until I saw a tweet about it. I don't remember who tweeted it. They said, other than that small stand against Ron and the Bellas, since the Riot Squad came to Raw, they've only mainly been feuding with Sasha and Bayley. Just add Natalya to it now. So why should I be excited for this match? I've seen a hell of times. It doesn't work anymore.
This is the match. This is the match that's going to go on right before the main event. Watch. It's going to be one of those type of 3-minute matches that nobody's going to care about.
And what does that say? And like I've been saying, Clackman, Steve can back me up. I've been saying this for the last month and a half. When you have 2 women in Sasha and Bayley, and this is the best you can give them, how can this be the best?
For a throwaway match like this, we sure are giving this a whole lot of time.
Oh, I'm giving it time because I need to vent a little bit, and I'm gonna save a lot more for the Battle Royal because I have a problem with the Battle Royal as well. And this and the Battle Royal go hand in hand. Who I'm picking? Sasha's team. Then the next night on Raw, they have a rematch in which the Riot Squad is gonna probably win. Though I did see one rumor, I don't know how legit it is, saying that this match is just gonna get scrapped and they're gonna announce women's tag team titles. And if they do, I'm gonna be even more pissed. Here's why. Because if your plans didn't announce women's tag team titles, why the hell didn't you have a tournament leading up to the show? That would have at least made it done something. And here's one more thing I'm telling you about the women's tag team titles if we're gonna get them. I want to see one set of titles, not one for Raw, one for no. There's not enough women for that. That's the same problem with having 2 separate tag team divisions. But 2 tag team women's divisions would be worse. Have 1 set of titles that float between Raw, SmackDown, and even NXT and NXT UK if you want to make this women's tag team division work. That's the only way it's going to work. But if you scrap this match, just announcing you're going to have women's tag team titles for the upcoming future, then you screwed up by not having a tournament lead up to it. And I know you can't have 2 tournament finals on the same night. But you know what? I'll take that over what we have in the 6-woman tag. I'm picking Sasha's team. I don't care enough. And then you got WWE on their Twitter saying this epic 6-woman tag. What's so epic about it? We've seen it already. And then we're going to have another rematch to the epic match the night before? Give me a break. Sasha, Bayley, and Natalya for the win. I couldn't care less.
All right, I'm going to go with them as well. I'm actually specifically going to go with Sasha Banks to get the pin on Ruby Riott. As for the women's tag team, if the women's tag team division happens, if the women's tag team titles get announced at Evolution, I'm kind of happy with it, kind of have it as a surprise. I've been saying and flapping my gums for months saying that if they're going to do it, they should announce it at the top of the show and then later in the show, not the main event. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch should be the main event in the second ever last woman standing match. Have that be the main event, but maybe the match before or a couple matches before, whatever, in the card, you have then to crown inaugural women's tag team champions. So have it announced to start off the show, have it there later in the night, and go from there. I mean, just from the start of the show, the time that's going to start, 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern, probably going through 4 hours. The number of matches we have right now on WWE.com makes me think that maybe that is going to be the case. And I'm at least for me, I'm fine with that. But like I said, in regards to this match specifically, I'm going with Sasha Banks' team to get the win, and Sasha Banks herself to get the pin and the W for her team. Moving right along, moving right along the NXT Women's Championship match. Kairi Sane, going one-on-one against Shayna Baszler. We'll start with Malik. Who do you have winning this one?
I'm gonna go. Oh, man, it's hard to pick. I think they're gonna give it to Shayna Baszler. I think they're gonna make her the first. I think they're gonna make her the first two-time NXT Women's Champion. I think they're gonna give it to her because she never beat Kairi Sane.
Yeah, she did. She beat on an episode of NXT.
But I'm talking about like in a big match environment. You know, she lost in the Mae Young Classic, and then she lost at Takeover, which was a good match, by the way.
Yeah, and Malik, I was gonna get to that part when I got to my prediction about that.
And I think I think they're gonna make her the first two-time NXT champion. I'm not saying if Shayna wins, she probably won't have it for long because I'm sure she'll be going up on the main roster sooner than later. But I mean, I think they'll give it to her, and then they'll have the rematch. If they don't give it to her at Evolution, I think she'll get the win. I think she'll get it at War Games. But I'm gonna go Shayna Baszler.
All right, Karen Chase.
See, I think NXT kind of what they should have done here was you have Kyrie win at the NYC final last year. You don't have them face each other again until TakeOver Brooklyn 4, in which Shayna wins. And then you have the rubber match at Evolution, in which Kyrie takes the title. That's what I think should have done. That way, this feels more, I mean, granted, Shayna's going to get a rematch anyway, but still. I'm going to go with Kyrie to retain, and Shayna's getting called up after that, because really there's no reason for her to be in NXT anymore. Her character doesn't really work unless she has a title, and her character, of being the biggest bully and being the best, I don't think that's going to work if she doesn't have a title. She doesn't really need to be in NXT anymore. She's definitely improved, and she's good. She's actually good on the mic, too. I'm going to go with Shayna, and I'm going to get back to Shayna later on in the show, but I'm going to give it to Kyrie's going to win the match, and that's Shayna's last NXT match. But the problem with this is, would it be an NXT match, and Vince does not watch NXT. I think the main roster, this is where, once again, the build for the show should be better. You should have, show who these women are. Like, give them an exhibition match on SmackDown or something, or Raw, just to show what these women can do, and lead to that, which will show, get people a little bit excited, because there are people out there that don't watch NXT for some reason, and they're not gonna know who these two women are really. So I'm gonna go with Kairi Sane, and I think she's gonna, I wouldn't mind seeing her tap Shane out, but I doubt that's gonna happen. But I don't think it's gonna be a roll up this time. She's gonna win with the insane elbow.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Kairi Sane and Shayna moves up to the main roster because they need some fresh meat for the girls after all these events going on. So I believe that Kairi Sane will take it this time and should be the other great match of the night.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way. Kairi Sane to retain her NXT Women's Championship, defeating Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler, how do you see being called up? I would say after Survivor Series, to be quite honest. That's what she called up, Raw after Survivor Series, is when Shayna Baszler comes to the main roster, at least in my way of thinking. Next match we're going to go over is the historic Women's Battle Royal match. Winner gets a future Women's Championship opportunity. You guys know who the participants are, or at least most of them, so I don't need to ramble that off. But I let you guys predict. We'll start off with Karen Chase.
What's historic about this match? And that's not a rhetorical question.
I was just reading on WWE.com, so there you go.
The first ever Women's Royal Rumble in October. There you go.
So we had the Women's Royal Rumble in January, which actually meant something. The WrestleMania Battle Royal, which meant nothing. And now we have another Battle Royal, which is no contendership. Give me a fucking break with this match. This match, and I know people say, well, they said they're going to have 50 women. You got to have a Battle Royal. There are women's match who deserve better. Namely, Asuka and Ember Moon. See, here's my problem with this is, and I'm going to mainly be talking about these two women. You look at, I've been complaining, you have Ember been on the main roster for 6 months. You had one storyline. Raw has 3 hours. You mean to tell me you can't give the woman one storyline in 6 months? And then, well, I don't need to go over Asuka. I've already done that enough and show you how badly Asuka butchered. But you look at that, like, these two women can't have a single that's hell. You could have had Ember come out on Raw a couple weeks before this show and challenge Asuka to a match, an interpromotional match, because that's the one person she never beat. Ember's the only one that should have ended Asuka's streak, like I said months back. But WWE had to push Charlotte. But I'm looking at it like this is just laziness. And I've seen people tweet saying, oh, people should be just excited to see women they grew up with watching. It's not about dream matches. I'm not just upset about not getting dream matches. I'm upset about your piss poor booking of this show and how lazy is obviously showing like that you how lazy you were and that you put no effort in the show when you throw women into a battle royal, which really doesn't mean much because it's just like, oh, if no one contenders by it. Screw it, I don't care. Like I just don't care enough. Why don't women have actual storylines? Like I said, Asuka, Ember, Naomi, hell, even Nia, the Iconics, women who should have storylines or have bigger matches have are in a battle royal, which doesn't mean anything. I've heard people say, "Oh, we're gonna get a lot of nostalgia pops." That's what the Royal Rumble did. How's it gonna be different than the Royal Rumble? The only nostalgia pop's gonna get me is if AJ Lee comes out, and we know that ain't gonna happen. So, like, I was you saying like why? And people say, "Oh, we might get a stare down between Asuka and Ember Moon." We already got that in the Royal Rumble. No dice. So who am I picking? Ember Moon. Why am I picking Ember Moon? Like I said, it's between her and Asuka. Asuka won the women's Royal Rumble, and Ember hasn't. At least she has been used before they ruined her. Ember has not been used at all because she had no feuds, no storylines, and she hasn't even had a sing. I don't even think she's even had a singles match on pay per view since she came to the main roster. So I'm going with Ember, even though, Smack. I can save that for later as well. But I'm going with Ember Moon.
All right, Malik.
I have no idea who's gonna win this. To be honest, I don't really have a prediction for this. I don't know who's gonna win.
All right,
pick somebody.
Clackman.
Yeah, I'll go with Sasha because I think she needs a win more than most of the other females there. She just came back from her hiatus. We don't know what it is, so I gotta give it.
It was concussion symptoms.
Okay, so like feel good story. Probably Sasha wins it, and she also is in line for being a good contender for a women's match. So I give it to Sasha.
All right. And for me, I'm going to go with Ember Moon as well, even though most people would say, Ember Moon getting the win on Raw, and you had Asuka looking strong in the melee on SmackDown Live, but those two would be eliminated in that way of thinking. But it makes sense to have Ember Moon then be the next one to challenge Ronda Rousey or Nikki Bella for the Raw Women's Championship after Evolution moving forward. Then you have those matches to be moving forward. So I'm going to go with Ember Moon for my prediction for the battle royal. Next up, Trish Stratus and Lita tag team match against Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Malik, who do you have in this one?
I think that Mickie James and Alexa Bliss are gonna win. I think the Legends are gonna put over I think they're gonna put over Alexa and Mickie. Because there's really no need for Lita and Trish Stratus to win. To be honest, they would get a big pop, but what does that really do for them? They're not going to be there anyway the next night. So it doesn't really do anything for them, to me, in my opinion, at least.
This should be the sloppiest match of the night by far. we gotta look out for this one, guys. This should be like the must see match of the night, but not for the good reasons. This should be. Yeah, Botchamania should be on watch. Get ready, record. This should be a masterpiece for Botchamania. So get your shit ready. It should be one hell of a match in that regard.
Who you picking, Clackman?
I'm gonna flip a coin and say Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Why not? It doesn't matter who wins or loses because one of them's gonna leave, and yeah, it doesn't matter in the end. This one is like the most useless match in the card. So give it to ones who are going to be around for a little bit longer, Mickie and Alexa, and the finish should be the usual distraction roll up shit. Distraction roll up. So there you go. On Lita, not Trish.
All right, Coward.
First off, let me just say, I've heard that Alexa Bliss has a concussion and she might not wrestle at the show. And if that's the case, you guys know who our replacement is going to be, right?
Even more hilarious. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my god. I'm laughing because it's funny. It really is. I'm gonna go with Trish and Lita because WWE values nostalgia over current day. Let's be honest, if Alicia takes Alexa's spot, there's not much current day because every woman was around. Because Alicia admit you were around in '08, so how much current day are we talking about? So yeah, I'm gonna go with Trish and Lita. I'm not gonna say that team name for obvious reasons. Or they
WWE
could have.
doesn't.
Yeah, hell, I give you a better name. Extreme Satisfaction would have been a better name. Um,
Yeah, that's good.
but I'm going to go with Trish and Lita. It's funny how my rants, I'm putting more effort in my rants about the show than WWE is for the actual show. Isn't that funny?
That's
So
why I'm not trying much, man.
I didn't want to try much, but really, this show doesn't deserve any me being nice. So
There you go.
thank you. So I'm going with Trish and Lita.
Same here. I'm going to go with Trish Stratus and Lita for the win. I have Trish Stratus pitting Mickey James there. So Trish pitting Mickey and Trish and Lita getting the win for their team. Moving on to what should be the main event, but probably will not be the main event. The SmackDown Live Women's Championship match, the last woman standing match, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. This time we'll start off with Clackman.
Oh, this ought to be good. It's the main event on paper, but the main event in our hearts will likely be Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler or Toni
Nope.
Storm versus Io Shirai. So that'll be the
Yes.
real main event. So we're going to have this is interesting because we have Ronda Rousey, who's decent in the ring. She can do some suplexes, some throws, some judo stuff there, some decent punches. And we have Nikki Bella, who hasn't had a singles match in like 2 years. So can she still go? We don't know. That's the interesting thing about this. She got her golden opportunity by backstabbing Ronda Rousey, like a lot of other people do on the roster. But the match itself should be pretty mediocre at best. I mean, we all know how her sister is in the ring. Maybe Nikki Bella has even worse ring rust than her sister. Is that even possible? So the winner of the match should be Ronda Rousey because, well, they need star power more because you know who's going to be gone, and it's going to be her.
All right, we'll head into the Raw.
Yeah, Kyrie's too busy banging his head against the desk over there, so.
Oh yeah, I thought we were doing the SmackDown Women's title match, but okay, I guess we're doing Raw then. You guys know I've said fuck this match a bunch of times. Fuck this match.
You said
I
main
don't.
event. That's what I said. Yeah.
I don't give a flying fuck about this match either. I don't really know what else I can say that I haven't said already. That Nikki Bella's the best you could do for Ronda Rousey, and the fact that Total Divas has to like the fact that you value Total Divas over women's wrestling shows again, and I understand she's using it for heel heat, but I don't think it's smart of Nikki to say, "Oh, I am a diva." That's not a good thing. Okay, not in this era anymore. It's not a good thing to say you're a diva. This match really should be a squash, if I'm being completely honest with you. Because just like I said about Alexa Bliss back at SummerSlam, you can't make me believe Nikki Bella can hang with Ronda Rousey. You can't make me do that. And while I didn't really like Alexa dominating Ronda for most of Hell in a Cell, they at least had the storyline of Ronda being injured. There's none of that here. You have Ronda saying she's gonna end Nikki Bella at Raw on Raw. Do me a favor, just take off TV for a little while. Because it's obvious like I said, she values Total Divas and everything, so let her do Total Divas. That show that's dropping ratings by the day, and I'm hoping they just cancel that shit. So yeah, Ronda's gonna win. Here's why I said I'll save Shayna for later. Let's say Ronda wins, and Shayna attacks Ronda after the match, setting up a potential feud. She can even say, I mean, we're still friends. It was just business. Because really, let's be honest, Shayna versus Ronda is much more interesting than Nikki versus Ronda, and I don't think there's a single person who's going to disagree with that. So I'm going with Ronda to win.
All right, Malik.
So what match are we covering? The Raw one now?
Yeah, I guess we'll say SmackDown for last. Then this is Raw.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I'm picking Ronda. I mean, I don't see her winning. I don't think this match honestly will be bad as people make it to be, but it definitely won't. It definitely shouldn't be the main event. The main event should be the last women's standing match, but obviously it won't because this match will. But I'm gonna pick Ronda. But I'm like Clackman said, Nikki hasn't had a singles match in 2 years, so we'll see. I'm not gonna say this match is gonna be a bad match until after the match. And if it's a bad match, then it's gonna be a bad match. And if it's a good match, it's gonna be a good match. So, but I'm picking Ronda Rousey to win though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a bad match.
I
You
wouldn't
know,
either. I mean, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't either. I just don't think. I don't think it'll be as bad as people were predicted to be. That's just my opinion.
And I myself would be surprised for if Nikki Bella did win that we have Stephanie McMahon and Natalia get involved to screw over Ronda Rousey to help Nikki Bella win the Raw Women's Championship. And just think of the reactions on social media, Twitter specifically. I know our buddy here, Kyron Chase, will have a 30-second video that will be in our Twitter thread.
Oh
oh
no!
hell
See,
yeah.
I won't even go for the 30-second video because that's not gonna feel right. See, here's what's gonna happen. Now, if really both main roster titles change hands, here's what's gonna happen. You want to see a guy go chainsaw massacre on a pay-per-view? Then I will. If either main roster title changes hands, it won't be pretty.
Well, here's a question, which I'm sure I already know, but which Raw SmackDown main roster women's match would you be more upset with? Nikki Bella winning or Charlotte Flair winning back her championship? Which one is worse?
I'll answer that question with a hold up. Let me show you.
Definitely,
I'm not even gonna tell you guys.
I would
I'm gonna show you.
definitely-
I'm gonna show you exactly how it's gonna be. You see this?
Yep.
You see what this is, right?
It's gonna go down your throat.
Oh, yes. I think that's a better option than either title changing hands, and that's not. And see, that's not a joke. That isn't a joke.
Cut the feed. Cut the feed. He's talking about suicide. Cut the feed. We can't support that on YouTube. Cut the damn feed. Got it.
That's how serious I am right now. Like you people are like I'm not gonna really kill myself, but what does that say if either title changes hands? Why I have no faith in this revolution if either title changes, especially. See, I guess I'll say this. If you held me down and forced me against my will to pick, and even though I love her, I'd rather have Becky lose the title. Why? Because if Nikki held the women's title, then you know what this is? This is evolution. This is de-evolution. This is going backwards. So if that's my answer for you, if you really wanted an answer.
Yeah. And another thing that I thought you were going to say, which I'm sure you're thinking too, is that if Nikki Bella was to win in your mind's eye, is that it's also them again trying to promote, and especially since Total Diva is going on right now and having the plummeting ratings and trying to boost that up, and Nikki Bella win the championship, and such like that being another reason for them to do that. Like I said, that's why I wouldn't be surprised if Nikki Bella won because of the timing of the pay-per-view event, which was obviously planned. Total Bella is going on right now during season, and Stephanie McMahon. We know that at whatever point that Ronda Rousey loses the championship, Stephanie McMahon's going to have a hand in it. So whether it be Sunday night or WrestleMania,
you know what I can see happening, and because the ego is that high, I wouldn't even be surprised if Stephanie took the title from Ronda herself. That's what I would not be surprised of seeing. I mean, I'm gonna go Chainsaw Massacre on that too because I'm tired of because really that's just pathetic. But I mean, might as well get to the next match.
right? Well, my prediction is Ronda Rousey, but I wouldn't be surprised an inch a bit if Nikki Bella won the championship. Yes, let's head into the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match: Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, last women's standing match. We'll start with Malik here for predicting this SmackDown match.
I mean, honestly, I could really see either one winning. I definitely don't want Charlotte to win. Definitely not pulling for Charlotte. Not because I hate Charlotte. I mean, I like Charlotte. She's phenomenal in the ring. She's great at everything. It's just she doesn't need the title anymore. I think obviously majority of the fans want Becky Lynch to have the championship. We want her to win.
Yeah.
But I'm for this match. I'm gonna pick Becky Lynch. But you can't be surprised if Charlotte wins. I don't think anybody should be surprised if she wins because I mean it's definitely possible. But nobody really wants to see that. They definitely I wasn't mad when they turned Becky heel at SummerSlam because I thought it could be interesting, but the way they booked it and everything, they completely just messed it up. Nobody wants to boo her, obviously, and nobody really is cheering Charlotte anymore. So I mean, they really should have just turned her heel at SummerSlam and then had Becky win, have Becky as the face. But I think Becky will win. I don't know how she'll win, but I think she will win. But I mean, honestly, this is me. I would rather see Nikki win than Becky lose. I do not want Becky to lose the belt at all. I don't want her to lose the belt at all. Because if she loses, I just feel like if she loses, they're gonna she'll be right back down at the bottom where she was for that full year. I don't see her
like
really
they give it like WWE gives a damn.
I don't really see her going anywhere from that, and that's just what I just don't want to see that. So I mean, I'd rather have Becky win more than anything. So I'm gonna pick Becky to win, but I won't be surprised if she loses. But I think we all hope she wins though. But I'm picking Becky Lynch.
All right, Kevin.
I'm gonna do something I don't do on this show. I'm gonna do something this is the only chance I'm giving WWE. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say they're gonna do the right thing, which they probably won't. But because they had Charlotte beat Asuka. But I'm gonna give you this last chance, WWE. Becky or bust. Here's why. If Becky does not retain the title at Evolution, everything you've done with her over the last 2 months means nothing. You've tried desperately to try to make the fans boo Becky at every cost. You've done everything in the world. You even had her insult Edge, and it didn't work. You had Charlotte come out on Tuesday and wanted Performance Center cut the most scripted, uninteresting, emotionless speech to the women. And then when she had a backstage promo when she in front the same thing. It felt scripted, unemotional, it didn't feel real. Why is that when Becky comes out in front of the Performance Center and everything she says sounds real? That's why fans gravitate towards Becky, because she's real. Everyone's been in her shoes. People understand what she's going through. No one in Charlotte gets everything. And I'm not saying she's not talented, but we all know if she wasn't Ric Flair's daughter, she would not be getting everything she's getting right now. We know that. I'm going to be honest, WWE. You want to piss off a bunch of fans, have Charlotte walk out of Long Island with that title. I'm telling you, that's all you got to do. Because...
Yeah, 100% agree, man. Yeah. Charlotte Flair has been the chosen one for the female since she stepped foot in the door. I knew when she was in NXT, I'm like, ooh, Vince is going to like her. And lo and behold, yep, he does. Fabs over her every single night, likely, like Alexa Bliss and Charlotte are probably making out in his office every day for his pleasure. So, but with that being said, it should be a knockdown, drag-out, falls count anywhere match between these two. I expect a lot of bad, nasty cheating by Becky Lynch to get more booze out of her.
But she's gonna get nothing but cheers.
Yeah, we have none but cheers. Yeah, because Charlotte does not deserve shit. I mean, she's okay, but she doesn't deserve all the glory that WWE's putting her way. So it should be a good match. But Becky Lynch has been doing a good job with the championship. Unlike Kairi Sane with the NXT title, she's not been doing a good job with that title. She has not. She's not been doing anything special with it. So Becky Lynch has. So I believe that Becky Lynch will still retain and be the champion after all this is said and done. There we go.
The thing is, I want to say Becky. I really do, because I picked her. But I keep saying this. Even though she's doing the best work of her career, which Becky is, WWE had Charlotte and Asuka Street for no reason whatsoever, but to get Carmella over, which failed miserably. So if WWE had Charlotte and Asuka Street, then they're capable of anything with Charlotte. And it's not like and here's like I said before, this is like the first time WWE tried definitely to get someone else here to get Charlotte over as a babyface. Remember when her feud with Paige, Paige was getting teared more. They tried to make Paige the bad guy, and that didn't work. At least WWE back then had the confidence to turn Charlotte heel. Nowadays, they want fans to feel sympathy for, and I'm looking at why should I feel sympathy for you again? What did you do for me to feel sorry for you? Oh, you stole Becky's moment. No, I don't feel sorry for you.
It should have ended, bro. She's a Flair, bro. She should instantly be a heel, bro.
Exactly.
Nobody likes Flairs, bro. You should instantly be a heel. Everybody hated Ric Flair when he was a heel. Why? She's a natural heel.
And she says, she's always genetically superior. Why am I gonna cheer someone who says she's genetically superior? Literally, it's in your genes
And
to be a
it
heel.
makes people not like her more because she's a Flair. So every time she gets the belt, people just feel like she gets it because of who she is, and it makes people not like her even more. And she's great. She's a lot better in the ring than Ric Flair ever was. She's a great wrestler, but
She's a very good wrestler.
it's
But
just the fact that she's a Flair. Nobody really wants Becky. People rely more to Becky because she's had to fight and scratch for everything she's getting, and she barely was even used all last year. I couldn't even remember one pay per view she was on besides WrestleMania last year.
and that doesn't even count. That was a multi-woman match. That doesn't count.
She was barely used last year. And Charlotte, obviously, we all knew in NXT that she was gonna be pushed hard just because of who she is. Yeah, but she's actually really good. She's actually really good though, so I can't knock her for that. If she was bad at what she did, then I'd be upset. But she's really good though, so I'm not gonna say I can't knock her for that. She's really good at what she does. But it's just the fact that when she was a heel, I loved her. I didn't mind her when she was the champion as a heel. I didn't mind her being the champion at all. I actually liked it because she was probably the top heel in the female division at the time. The only thing that ruined it to me is that they kept flipping the title back and forth between her and Sasha. They would have it on Sasha for 3 weeks, put it back on Charlotte for a month, then flop it back to that. They shouldn't have did that. That's what ruined it.
And that turned Sasha into a chump. Something I still ain't forgiving WWE for.
Charlotte is a natural heel. She should be a heel. Period. It's just like Randy Orton. When Randy Orton babyface, why is he babyface? Nobody likes babyface Randy Orton. Needs to be a heel. Randy Orton's a natural heel. Some people are just natural heels. Some people are natural baby faces. It's just who they are. That I don't mind. I'm not blaming WWE for trying to put her as a baby face because you got to try different things, whatever. But nobody wants her as a baby face. She's much better as a heel. Becky is a natural baby face to me. Nobody hates her. People love her. You should have Charlotte as the heel.
I like Becky's character. I do love Stone Cold Becky Lynch. That's what I'm loving. But when WWE's trying to turn into a chicken shit heel, that's when I'm gonna have a problem with it. You keep having her be like a female Stone Cold. She's gonna be the most over woman for a long time. But WWE doesn't see it that way, unlike us. It's funny because really, even in NXT, Charlotte was always my least favorite of the horsewomen. Even in NXT, I would say that now. But the way WWE's treating Sasha and Bayley, I just don't care about any of the horsewomen other than Becky right now because you fuck everyone else over. But yeah, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt this one and only time. But of course they're gonna piss me off and they're gonna put the title on Charlotte anyway. But I'm gonna go with Becky.
All right, for me, I couldn't pull the trigger to predict Nikki Bella, but here I'm gonna pull the trigger. I'm gonna go with Charlotte Flair to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I see this kind of being a situation where it being like the feud with Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. Differences with Flair over on Raw. It was flip-flop with Sasha Banks winning the titles on Raw shows and then Charlotte winning it on pay-per-views. Here, maybe they're giving a little bit more respect with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair winning titles at pay-per-views, not on SmackDown Live and then pay-per-view, and going back and forth that way. So them going back and forth, hot potatoing the title, at least winning the championships at pay-per-view. So I'm going with Charlotte Flair for the win, becoming the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion, heading out of Evolution. Remember, we have Charlotte Flair being part of what they're saying is, we know it's not, but they're saying is first ever, women's women standing.
What's up with that?
And so with that, it's time. So that's another reason why I'm thinking they're going to go that way. So like I said, I'm pulling the trigger this time, which I didn't with Nikki Bella, but here I am with Charlotte Flair. I'm officially predicting Charlotte Flair.
That's because
you're the
only person that actually wants Charlotte to win.
I'm going to call an audible here, and I want to get you guys' opinions on the build-up of Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair to this point. Do you think WWE has done a decent job making it hype for this match, or just a match to be on the show? Like where are you guys on the storyline build-up for these two?
The storyline started off well, but I think over the last couple weeks it's kind of fizzled out a little bit. I really just got tired of the feud once WWE constantly kept trying to make fans boo Becky. That's when it started getting on my nerves. I did like the spot when they went through the Titantron. That was nice. But
other than that, yeah.
But other than that, what else? Well, other than Becky,
they didn't even change the set. They didn't even change the set. They just did it for the fuck of it. They just did like it was on episode 999. Just did it for the fuck of it. It didn't
Dude,
do anything.
that's one thing I hope for this pay per view. I hope they change the set around just to make it
Don't-
different. It's a women's pay per view, so I hope they just.
That
make
is
it
true. That
different.
would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah, sure. They put no effort into building up the show. They're gonna put effort into a new stage.
Kyron's right there. Kyron's
At
right.
the most,
Yep.
they'll probably change the ropes. They'll probably change the ropes and maybe
if
they'll
it's
change
fake ropes, I'm out. If it,
Well, we are still in October.
oh man, that means they have an excuse to do it too. Oh
Yeah,
man,
and not just pink ropes. I'm talking about a pink set. As in, you know how the stage lights are usually blue or black or red. We're going pink on this one. And I'm gonna say laugh my ass off at it because you give me such zero effort going into the show. I don't believe they didn't even change the set for SmackDown 1000. Another show they didn't put much effort.
yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't.
So, what makes you think they're gonna put effort into changing up the stage? They don't even put effort into building up the damn show. And they're more
Oh
concerned
man,
about. I mean, they're not worried about this show. This show is just giving a woman a payday because they can't go to Saudi Arabia just 5 days later.
It's a gateway to the payday of Crown Jewel. There we go.
And we all know WWE, and we're gonna talk. I know we're gonna talk about Crown Jewel later, but we all know WWE values Crown Jewel more than Evolution. And when they first announced the show, when everyone else was excited, and I said it was just political BS, I also said that this show is ironically they're doing it 5 days before they're going back to Saudi Arabia where the women can't wrestle. And I'm the only one that said it back then. And now it's looking even more obvious now, isn't it? Like Vince gives a damn. And Stephanie only wants the show so she can make herself look good because she's gonna come out there and have another political BS announcement for the like she always does. WWE should have gave the control of the show over to Triple H and let him work his magic and Ryan Ward. But no, we don't get that. We got Vince was never given a damn about women's wrestling anyway to book the first ever all women's pay per view. Give me a break.
Damn.
Yeah.
What do you think of this glorious storyline, man?
Huh?
Yeah, Malik. What do you think of this glorious storyline? You got the pre-tape segments in the back there, pull aparts every week.
It's cool. I mean, for me, honestly, they really didn't need because the match. Once they announced the match is going to be a good match anyway. You really don't need like a really big storyline. But I mean, I did like the spear through the Titans. I thought that was different. That was pretty cool. The performance and the thing, it was alright. I mean, it wasn't like terrible or anything, but it was. I guess you got to do something. It was alright. It was okay. But I mean. I can't say I blame WWE for trying to get them to boo Becky Lynch because I mean they're trying, but it's just like at some point they got to realize it's not working. You know what I mean?
There's so many interesting things that they could have did with the Performance Center spot, and they chose to have Becky Lynch just be there, and the girls part the sea for Becky Lynch coming through. There's so many.
Why could she could have just she could have just randomly attacked her, just out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Instead of come up, she just kind of walked in. She could have. I think it'd been cooler if Charlotte was talking to them, and then she could have just came out. She could have just maybe came out of nowhere, hit her with something. Just randomly started beating her up, whatever. And then the women, obviously they were gonna break it up, stuff like that. But I mean, I think that would have been cooler. But I mean, like I said, I don't blame them from trying to get to the boo her because when you're healed, you got to get booed. You know what I mean? But it's at some point you got to realize stuff's not working. You know what I mean? So when it's not working, you really got to change things up. You know what I mean? Because especially when she was doing with Edge, and obviously she came at Edge pretty hard, and people were still kind of cheering. That's really when you got to realize that. Kind of
cheering. They went wild.
You really got to change things up. You know what I mean? You kind of got to. You gotta. I don't know what they can do. I mean, they gotta figure something out. You gotta change things up with how they're doing it. But I mean, the build up, the storyline, it's okay. You know what I mean? It was all right. But I mean, it wasn't
What if they did this for the Performance in the spot? When Charlotte Flair said to the girls, "Does anybody have any questions?" and Shayna Baszler was there, and Shayna was like, "I got a question. How are you gonna get your belt back from me after I take it from you when I go to the main roster, when I beat that Kairi Sane to the pay-per-view? I'm going to be a double champion. I'm going to be NXT champion. I'm going to be a SmackDown champion. How are you going to deal with it when I beat your ass after I beat you for the belt if you can beat Becky?" I want you to basically go in there and just talk shit to fucking Charlotte right to her face. But
that was one thing. That was one thing I was wondering. Why the hell was Shayna Baszler there? But you know what I found funny? Malik, you said how
why was Nikki Cross there? Why was Nikki Cross there at the Evolution announcement thing on Raw? Well, why was she there?
Yeah, I was there. I
But
was there in the crowd. I was there in the crowd, and I looked up like the Titantron. Like, why the hell? What the hell? Is she even like? She's not even in the main roster. What is she even there for?
I mean, for all we know, she could be in the main roster. They just ain't done shit with it yet.
Nikki
But
Cross is there, Raw superstar.
but in
Yeah,
all serious, well,
you could be right.
but I know. But here's one thing I found. When Malik, you said how having Becky come out there and come to performance and also talk. Here's the problem with that. I agree. They should just have attacked because when Becky started talking, she made Charlotte like a chump again because she actually sounded real. But here's what I found funny, Malik. You say how you don't blame WWE for trying to make fans boo back. Yeah, I get that. But didn't Stephanie come out and say we're successful because we listen to the fans? And didn't Road Dogg say we don't care who you cheering, boo, just pick a side? So
Yeah.
the fans, you not listen to the fans, and the fans have obviously picked a side. But yet you still want to force a narrative on us that we don't want, even though you said pick a side.
I know.
Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like they're trying, and I'm gonna. The first superstar I think we all ever realized it was very controversial was John Cena. The first one I ever was around that was ever very like that. You know what I mean? Where it was like
our generation, yes, our generation.
He's the good guy, but people hate him, stuff like that. But it's just like it just worked for him. I don't know how to explain it. It just worked for who he was.
Because he had the charisma. He had the charisma and mic skills that like Charlotte's Bayface does not have. So
Yeah,
Cena
yeah.
can turn.
It's just like I feel like for one, I feel like there can only be one John Cena, and they should have never even had nobody else get the reaction that they did. They ruined Roman Reigns to getting that reaction. You know what I mean? I understand. It's not a bad reaction. They're getting some type of reaction either way, but I'm just like that reaction for him was just it was unique because nobody else ever had it before. So they should have just kept that for him. But now they have in the generation we live in, people don't like faces. They like the heels. Everybody, pretty much all the heels get cheered. People don't hate Kevin Owens. Nobody hates Elias. He gets cheered every time he goes out there. Kevin Owens gets cheered. Becky Lynch gets cheered. Most of the heels get cheered. You know what I mean? Because people just like heels. The only faces that really get cheered are the ones like Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, because they're really good in the ring.
Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles,
and they all have one thing. They all have one thing in common. They're phenomenal in the ring.
Yeah, they put on 5-star matches.
I mean, NXT had Gargano, but we all know what happened last night. And I mean, yeah, you had Gargano in NXT. Who else? NXT babyface usually gets here. You get Gargano before he turned. Ricochet. You had the women, but I mean the main roster. Yes, you're right. Most of the people that get the best positive. I mean, the only babyface like that wasn't, let's say, an indie wrestler that got cheered was Braun Strowman. And they turned him heel, which now he's a babyface again. But that was about it. I mean, how many other homegrown people will you say who are baby faces on purpose that have been cheered over the last couple months?
I mean, it's been rare.
Months?
I mean, it's rare. It doesn't happen like that anymore. Back then, baby faces were cheered, heels were booed, but it's just now people understand wrestling more and they understand the art of it and everything more, and it's people get invested into the heel characters. Heel characters are better. You know what I mean? Like another heel like Drew McIntyre. How can you hate somebody like Drew McIntyre? Come on, like seriously, like the man is great. People are not gonna boo him. You know what I mean? But somebody like somebody like Charlotte, who's really good in the ring as well. But it's the concept of it is
I can't wait for this story to come out somewhere of why WWE never made Bobby Roode heel on the main roster. I do not buy the music shit. There's got to be another reason.
There's no way he should never even. I'm not. I understand that when people come up from NXT, they all can't be used right and pushed. I get that, but you can't tell me that this guy right here can't be one of the. He could be one of the. He could easily be the top heel on Raw right now, easily.
Yeah. He's really good.
Especially now that Roman Reigns, is going through his battle with Cantor and shit right now. He could easily be in the top feud for the.
He could be the best mid card heel on the roster. Easy.
He could be the Miz of Monday Night Raw right now. He could be the Miz of Monday Night Raw.
But they can't. Yeah. They can't outshine Roman. Now that he's gone, there's a chance, right, Dean?
Oh my God, that Dean Ambrose heel turn was amazing. But
yeah, that was honestly That was really good. That heel turn was really good because I didn't expect it at that time. Honestly, I didn't expect it. I mean, we all knew it was coming, but it was at that moment.
No, not on this night.
But that's the thing, though. It would not have. I don't think it would have had the same impact that had been any other night. Like, think about it. You have what happened with Roman, and everyone showing real reaction. Dean and Seth, especially Seth, and then they win the title for Roman. I'm thinking, oh, that's a nice moment. I mean, it was a good match, but I wasn't really looking. And Dean Ambrose, turns on Seth Rollins. And what I love about it was, you have Seth on the ground saying, "We can work this out. What's wrong?" And
yeah, that was pretty cool too. I like that.
That was a great moment. And this is what I was saying. Like a lot of people were saying when Brock Lesnar was Universal Champion, you had to have the Intercontinental title should be built up the main title on Raw and give it to a babyface that you can trust. What other babyface on Raw do you trust more than Seth Rollins to carry a main event feud? Nobody. So what they're gonna do with the tag team titles, I don't know. But Seth and Dean and a feud for the IC title and a blood feud, shut up and take my money. Sign me up. I'm looking forward to that.
It's so pathetic that all the people of the Shield to turn heel, they turn everybody but Roman, who's the most obvious natural heel of the group. Everybody but him. This company can kiss my ass, man. Sometimes, man. Seriously.
Sometimes,
so everybody turns heel but him. Really.
I mean, sometimes
you really honestly, really, in all realness, people just really gotta accept that Roman Reigns is he's just gonna be the top guy. Vince McMahon does not look at him as a heel. He does not want him to be a heel. I mean, that's just how it is. And we really got no say in it. I mean, we ain't got nobody really had a say in it. So I mean, he's gonna be a heel. I mean, he's gonna be the face until probably forever, just like John Cena. You know what I mean? It's gonna get to the point where people are just like, oh, I don't even care anymore. I don't even want him to be a heel anymore. I don't even care. So I mean, it's gonna get to that point. But
he's a fake, boring moveset.
I personally think, for me, I personally would love to see Seth Rollins as the Universal Champion. And then they could put the IC title on Finn Balor. They could put the title on Finn Balor because they're not doing anything with him on Raw anyway. You need somebody else as babyface to have the title. Put it on Finn Balor. People like Finn Balor too. Put it on Finn Balor. And then you can have Dean versus Seth for the Universal Championship. That to me would be amazing because I wouldn't mind Braun Strowman being the champion. I wouldn't mind.
And if it doesn't happen at Crown Jewel, if Lesnar walks out of Saudi Arabia with the title, I mean, I'm already debating watch the show or not. But if they have Lesnar walk out of Saudi Arabia with that title,
that really worries me. I'm a big Brock Lesnar fan, but he doesn't need titles for his character. He doesn't need a title for anything he has, especially with him being part-time. When he shows up, you can put him with anybody, and whoever you put him with, it's gonna be a match it's gonna be a big match. You don't need a title for that man's character.
I mean, here's the thing. We'll save. I know we're gonna save our predictions for Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry, Crown Jewel, whatever the hell you call the show, for next week. But literally, it's like this: if Strowman does not walk out of Saudi Arabia with the title, where the hell does he go from here? I know he's gonna have a feud with Drew McIntyre, but still, think of it this way: Strowman didn't win the title at SummerSlam 2017. He didn't win it at No Mercy 2017 when he should have.
I don't know what happened to my man. He just disappeared.
Steve? Yeah, he's just gone. He's like DOA or whatever.
No, I'm talking about Kyron. I don't know what happened to Kyron either. He just disappeared.
As soon as Katrina came in, he left. So I think that Kyron is Katrina. So mystery solved.
Yeah, that could be true. That could be true.
Oh my God.
I mean, for me, like, what were we talking about again? What were we talking about? Saudi Arabia?
Welcome Katrina to the show, people. Come on.
Hi, sorry. I have a hard time getting in.
No, yeah. Sometimes these things are hard to get into.
Oh my goodness. Well, we were just talking about heel turns and face turns. We did our WWE SmackDown and Raw Evolution pay-per-view predictions thus far. You want to go down yours, or you just want to skip right to the news? What do you feel like, Katrina?
We'll go to the news because I don't want to take up all y'all's time.
Okay.
So right now we're talking about the Dean Ambrose heel turn, and then we got into the Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman match. I personally, like I said, I don't think Brock Lesnar doesn't need the title for his character. They don't need to put the title on him. I Nobody wants to see him. He just give it to Strowman. Like I said, I'd much rather see Seth Rollins with the title. That's just me, especially with Dean Ambrose turning heel now. But
sorry about that. My mom was FaceTiming me. Sorry about that.
no, you should. But for me, like like Kyron said, you got to put the title on Strowman now. Like if he loses to Brock Lesnar again, what happens? What?
We don't see the title until Royal Rumble. That's guaranteed.
He's supposed to be WWE's monster, but yeah, he gets slayed by WWE's part-time beast every time they face each other. So
can we even still count Brock Lesnar as a beast anymore? He doesn't do shit. But in all seriousness, like where does Strowman? I mean, wouldn't a feud between Strowman, even though Strowman McIntyre feud sounds delicious on paper, wouldn't it sound better with the Universal title involved? Because I want to see Strowman and McIntyre feud. That I think that's gonna be great. But you put the title on it, that's gonna because there are people that won't care about the feud, that don't care about McIntyre. Put the title on it, it instantly makes it important. Lesnar does not need that title because let's be honest, do we really want to see a third title reign second to last year and a half?
No.
Dude, the fact that he had the title for 500 and plus days is crazy. I never had a problem with him winning it at WrestleMania.
I was
like, all right, that's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have the title, but no, if he had told me he's gonna have the title for that long, no way I would have been cool with that.
I was fine with him winning it. I was actually in the crowd rooting for him when he won it. But then I think I started getting upset when he beat Joe at Great Balls of Fire. That's when I started getting angry. Then when he beat Strowman at No Mercy, that's when I got pissed off. And then when he beat Roman at WrestleMania, I wasn't angry because I didn't care enough about the match. I was falling asleep on it. But at that point, I'm like, what happens now? Then I'm thinking, okay, when they go to Saudi Arabia, he's going to take the title in the steel cage. No, Lesnar wins again. Like, what the hell? How long is he going to hold the title?
The biggest thing for me is, sorry, Kyron, but the biggest thing for me is it gives nothing for anybody on the main roster, anything to work for or look forward to if he's going to hold on to it that long. That was my biggest thing. And plus, I often forgot about it because, you don't see it every week. But if Strowman took it, now does he deserve it because he's a hard and safe worker? We'd be seeing it every week and make it more important.
Exactly. Like I said, Brock Lesnar does not need a title for him. Whatever, fine, cool. When he shows up, you can just put him. You can have him feud with somebody, and then he can leave and do whatever he does again. But you don't need to put a title on him because when you put a title on him, that makes people. They just put that is like
handcuffs.
Sometimes I forgot the title was even there.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there.
Forgot it was even part of everything because they'd be like, oh, Universal titles. I'm like, I forgot that we haven't seen the title in like 6 months. Like, oh my god, like I forgot the title was even on somebody.
Here's a question. If by some miracle Lesnar does, in fact, win the title or in general, but who the hell is there left in the feud with? And that's not a rhetorical question. Like, who is there left on Raw in the feud with?
Like, if he wins the title, who's gonna take it off of him? Because Roman Reigns is gone now.
And Strowman, your best bet, got beat by him a third time and pinned by him twice.
So the only one that would be viable or reasonable, I think, would be Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but he's wrapped up in a feud. He's gonna be wrapped up with Dean Ambrose, so that's not gonna work. McIntyre is gonna
honestly, because I know how WWE does things. For Brock Lesnar to lose, it's got to be somebody believable. The only other person I can think of is John Cena. Off the top of my head, it's the only other person I can think of.
I love Cena, but even I don't believe he can really beat Brock Lesnar. And I don't even want to see that anymore because, let's be honest.
But at least if he's a champion, at least he'll be there.
Yeah, even when he won the title last year for 2 weeks, he was there. But what was I going to say? Other than Styles, when's the last good one-on-one match Lesnar
had? There wasn't one.
There wasn't one, man. It's been a while.
I'm probably going to have to go back to the Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker. And that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro. It's been a while. They booked. The one match that really pissed me off was the one with Randy Orton. That one really pissed me off. That match had so much potential of being great, and they just Are you kidding me? If they actually would have booked that right, that match would have been a great match between those two.
I didn't know you guys yet, so you guys don't know this, but I said that match was gonna be exactly what it was. I said it was gonna be crap.
Right.
I'm saying if they had booked it right, if they booked it right. I don't know why they booked it matches like he can't wrestle. If you go back to his matches when he was actually there, he can actually have good matches. We've seen it many times. He can actually work. He puts on good matches, but you got to I don't understand why they just have him go in there, suplex people, few times, and then he did 1 2 3 F5 1 2 3, and he's like, why?
Because he's a lazy ass Malik. I'm a college student and I'm lazy, but I put more effort into what I'm doing than he does in the ring. The only person that brings a good match out brought a good match out of him was Styles.
But Styles could have a 5-star match with a paper bag. So
Exactly. And then Malik, you said if they book, you said Malik, if they booked it right, then it would have been a good match. Hell, if they booked Evolution right, I'd be interested in it this Sunday night. But they didn't do that either. If they book anything right, it could be good, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be.
So I see you guys here talking about WWE Crown Jewel. I was away for a little bit, had to deal with something. I apologize. So I don't know if you guys did talk about first up before talking about all the matches or you guys stuff. You guys talk about what was the breaking news from earlier today of that there will be having the event next Friday, and it will be in Saudi Arabia. They're not moving it. They're not canceling it. So again, I just bringing that up in case you guys didn't bring it up. You guys already did. Fine. My opinion on it is I kind of saw this happening going this way. They earned a 10-year contract. The Saudi government, it's even Katrina was saying on Twitter. Katrina was saying on Twitter of how it's a rough spot for WWE, really, and rocking a hard place because if you try to get out of that contract, you just can't. So so them being in the show, I wasn't surprised by the announcement.
There was no way they were going to
happen next Friday.
They put
there was no way WWE would turn down free money from the Saudi government and purposely their stockholders. There was no way.
They slapped $64 million on the table. There was no way they're going to cancel that show. There's no way. There's $64 million. For $64 million, we haven't. If I'm Vince, we having that show. I'm sorry, we having that show.
I bet you somebody in that meeting said it's just one person that died. It's not that big of a deal. I bet you some sneaky motherfucker said that in the fucking boardroom.
I think you said it the day on Twitter, Cat. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I for one look at it this way. People say, "Oh, how can WWE do this?" And their moral platitude. The hell, the morals, the things this company has done, exploiting death, making fun of someone's actual real life alcohol problems. You think this company's above that? And people say, well, look at what's gonna happen. I mean, they can't survive this. They survived the '94 steroid trial, and they survived the Chris Benoit situation. They can survive anything. So this isn't gonna even hurt the company that badly.
Yeah, they can survive. If they can survive the Chris Benoit, they can do anything for real.
And I'm not defending WWE in any way whatsoever. But what I'm saying is,
they're bulletproof.
I've seen this company, like I said, make fun of Jake Roberts' real life alcoholism on TV. I've seen them exploit Eddie Guerrero's death on TV to the point where Randy Orton said he was in hell, and they've survived much worse. Hell, I've seen something, and so this company obviously
they use Paul Bearer's actual death as the only storyline for Taker versus Punk at WrestleMania. The only thing. That was the only thing that was about. And they made fun of it pretty badly too, man.
And the streak was still there, so it didn't even need that because the streak was still alive, and it just needed to be built up the streak. So
necrophilia, torture, miscarriages,
racism.
That's actually a company of moral high standing. But even with that aside, I would say that aside from the $64 million, which was probably 98% of why they're continuing on, that last 2%, I would say, has to deal with that contract, and I think they'd be royally screwed more if they broke the contract.
I mean,
the last 2% is probably have to do with the contract. 98%, the $64 million.
I mean, it's hard because we as people, we're not making that type of money, so we look at it as like, you got to pull out because of what this country just did. But if someone makes $64 million on you, you're not going to easily just say, "Well, let's forget about it." Because Vince makes money, so it's not. I don't think it's a lot to him. But for me, $64 million, I could pay off all my college loans. And I'm only a freshman. But I don't get I'm on it like I wish the show had been canceled or moved. But you can't really do that within 2.5 weeks.
It's more complicated than I think what's on the surface.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. They were talking like when I seen stuff about them like they're saying that they're gonna move it and stuff. Like, how can you move when the show's next week? So like, you're just kind of late to kind of move it because you got to get ticket sales up and everything. So it's like it's kind of too late for all that. So I mean, I didn't think they're gonna cancel it. Like I said, the money's a big part of it. $64 million is a lot of money. So I mean, you slap $64 million on the table to anybody. I think it's gonna be hard for somebody to turn down $64,000. You know what I'm saying? That's
and then above all that, we have with Daniel Bryan and John Cena saying they weren't going to work the show. I know dang well, and it's not just WWE going to force them. Like, I'm just going to say, oh, WWE's going to be the big bad. It's going to be the Saudi government. Pressure on Vince McMahon and WWE.
What is with WWE?
Bryan and John Cena to work the matches because that's what they, Saudi government, want. That's with their contract. You're going to get this much money.
All they care about is the old. They only care about the old people, man. They don't care about none of these young guys. They want. That's why Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement.
He's like, yeah, we're not.
That's why I thought that Hulk Hogan might be there.
Hulk Hogan's supposed to be there too. They care.
Oh, that'll be great, guys. That'll be great.
For
I can't wait for that one, guys.
They want to see the Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna, and they're both dead. Like, come on now.
I know. I said that last week. You know what's funny? You guys said, "Oh, well, Steve, you said, oh, the Saudi government. What the fuck is Saudi government gonna make John Cena and Daniel Bryan do? They can't do. They're not Saudi citizens. If they don't. And wouldn't they be gonna fire him? John's on a part-time schedule, and they know they wouldn't dare fire Daniel Bryan or John Cena. Those are two names.
See, like they've done it before with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, but and how'd that backfire? Shows got hijacked. You fire him now, and after everything he's been through, you will not hear the end of it. And Daniel will leave this time.
Daniel Bryan wasn't as over as he was when they first fired him.
Daniel Bryan should have left when his contract went out in September. And that's what I was saying back then.
Maybe he should have, but he didn't. And I'm just saying, if I'm D. Bryan, I'm John, even though it might be hard because it's their job, if I can help it, I'm not going. I mean, but here's what I have a problem with some dating people. And I'm going to probably get called out for saying this, but it's kind of funny how they can band together when Dave Meltzer said something about Peyton Royce, but they can't band together on something like this.
Well, that's because everybody has different opinions about it. Like, you know, some people said they should go, some people said they shouldn't go. So it's like,
right. Randy Orton was saying,
Randy Orton said they should go. You know, so I mean, there's a couple people that said they should go and they shouldn't go. So it's like, you know, it's kind of hard to pick sides kind of being together. You got two different opinions. So I mean, I look at it as if you don't want to go, you don't go. That's how I see it.
I'm just saying. I mean, remember when this deal was first announced earlier this year? It was 10 years and a bunch of $1 million. We all thought the worst thing that was going to happen to this deal was the fact that women couldn't wrestle there. Oh boy, how we were wrong back then. I mean, WWE was going to take heat no matter what they decided to do. Am I going to watch the show? Because I know people say, "Oh, I'm not watching the show," even though I know they're going to watch it anyway. I'm lying if I said I'm outright going to say I'm not watching the show because I haven't decided yet. Because the only matches I really cared about was the Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. But if Daniel Bryan isn't going, I don't really have much reason to want to watch it. I mean, people say, "Oh, Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement." Yeah, a tag team match between 4 men whose combined ages, I believe, 203. I'll pass. So there's not much.
The only person in this match that can still wrestle is Triple H. Is the only one.
And
Shawn Michaels, I can't say because Shawn Michaels hasn't wrestled in 8 years, so I'm not gonna say he can't. I gotta see first. But Undertaker can barely do anything. Kane can barely do anything at this point.
And I've heard Undertaker has a knee problem that's hard to walk on. So
the only thing let me explain this for everybody. This is what really upset me that they got Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement. It's not that I don't want to see the man wrestle anymore. I don't have a problem with the man wrestling. It's the way he retired. If you go back and look at the build up, the story, and the match itself, it was beautiful. You can't tell me that wasn't beautiful how it ended. How everything ended. The match first of all,
right there.
The match was great that they had. Great match. Both WrestleMania matches were great, but the second one was good. The great match they had. The build-up made sense. You know, Shawn became this obsessive psychopath with ending the streak, and he put everything he had on the line to get that one last opportunity. It was all great. The Undertaker cannot perform like he could 8 years ago anymore. He can't do that anymore. Triple H can still wrestle, but he's not wrestling Triple H anymore. And the fact that everything that happened with his retirement, it was great. And then the fact that, you know, he's been retired for so long. Man passed up a match with AJ Styles last year, for God's sake.
I mean, and it's funny because I remember when he did pass that match with AJ, my brother, who's favorite wrestler right now, AJ Styles, but favorite wrestler of all time, Shawn Michaels, he was upset about it. And I'm trying to explain to him, you know, Kyrie, he doesn't want to wrestle anymore. You got to respect that. And now I'm kind of like a hypocrite because I don't respect him wanting to come back. But I just don't want. I mean, like I said, Shawn's in his 50s, Kane's in his 50s, Undertaker's in his 50s, and Triple H is 49. I just don't want to see, you know, if this is like 2000.
The only one that can still really work is Triple H. He's the only one.
If this was 2006, I'd be excited for this match. Because to be honest, DX versus the Brothers of Destruction ain't never really happened. Because DX versus Brothers of Destruction, technically, it never really happened.
Yeah,
but
if this was 2006, this would be different. Then this would be different. But it's 2018, and we have.
Oh God, give me over stuff. Oh my God.
This is 2018. You have a man in the Undertaker who we all respect, legend, but he's been through so many injuries in his whole career. He can barely even move. He can barely do stuff. You have Kane. And he's supposed to be like the mayor or something in Tennessee right now. He's supposed to be like doing stuff and like mayor stuff right now. He's supposed to be doing mayor stuff.
Yeah, next.
You have Shawn Michaels who's been retired for 8 years, and you got Triple H who's basically running NXT and basically preparing to run the company once Mr. Man passes away. This match is like, why are we having this? Why are we having this match? Why? There's no need for this match.
Because they gotta have money, man. It's all about the money. That's why we gotta have this.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Crown Jewels next week.
I won't beat about around the bush. I'll be watching it.
Well, thanks for your honesty, Kat.
We're all gonna watch it. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not gonna watch it. Of course, I'm gonna watch the damn pay-per-view. I'm just not happy that they made this come out of retirement after he's been retired for 8 years.
As a person who doesn't really support WWE and all their negative actions and storytelling and stuff, I have to say one thing about their corporation and their marketing strategy. Them pulling out of this deal is a bad move for their future because it makes the company as a whole look weak. If this kind of thing would get them to pull out of a deal, there could be other little things that would make them do things like that in the future. They have to stay strong, unfortunately, as a company, so they know that future people that they do business with, they'll stay strong in the face of adversity. So unfortunately, I have to side with the WWE company and say, you got to stick to your guns in that aspect. Is it morally wrong? Yes, it obviously is. But as a business, they have to do what's right for business. And unfortunately, their motto has to ring true this time.
Look, we're not. None of us are rich, or we're not business people, so we're not involved in that stuff. We don't really know what goes on with all that stuff. And
you got to make hard decisions in life. Sometimes you got to make hard decisions.
We don't really know. We can only
backfire on them badly. This could backfire on them, but they have to do what they have to do.
We can only speculate about like what as fans we just speak from the heart and think what they should do, but behind the scenes we really know.
Well, from them canceling it, because if they cancel it, things are not good with relations between Saudi and West. If they pulled it out, Saudis could even as like a symbolism of disrespect or a slap in the face and make matters worse, or at least it wouldn't help anything.
Exactly.
Mm.
So it's like I agree. I'm not a big, huge fan of them continuing to go, but I get it. I'm not going to like talk shit or anything like that.
Another thing that's
nobody here is talking shit.
I talk shit every week.
That's what we do over here.
That's all I do is talk shit on WWE, so I do it every week. So
another thing that's stupid to me is that you having this supposed World Cup, but everybody's in this match is American.
That's WWE right there. That's 100% WWE right there.
It's supposed to be a World Cup, but everybody's from the United States in this match.
I mean, come on.
That's Vince. What? That's 100% Vince. That's him.
That's Vince. That's Vince and Kevin Dunn right there.
You're having this thing.
You think anybody's gonna notice, sir? Who cares?
And then the thing is that you're supposed to be the one that's supposed to be the best in the world, right? You can't tell me that. I started laughing when people started chanting CM Punk on SmackDown because you can't tell me that people aren't gonna realize that you're kind of stealing what this man really been saying that he was for like the past 3 years he was there before he left.
I mean, it's Vince and Kevin Dunn. What do you expect? What do you expect?
Don't forget about CM Punk saying he was the best in the world for that long. Nobody remembers that.
The only opportunity to change that, to actually have some other player to that match to the World Cup and actually try to make it somewhat international. If John Cena is actually not going to go and he's not going to be forced to do the match and the stuff, and he's pulled out of that match, maybe then they could add
CM Punk. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And trying to have it, but WWE, maybe that might not be the case, and they just might pull have him being pulled out and not have a replacement for him.
I got a question for you guys and girls. On WWE's YouTube channel, they did not edit out the reference that Shane McMahon made about CM Punk about he's not going to be there. Why do you think they chose? Huh? Yeah. Why do you think they chose not to edit it out when it's clearly a throwaway line?
Because they were too lazy to do it.
What's the point? I mean, it's just like everybody knows. Like nobody's stupid. Everybody knows. There's really no point of it. There's no point of it now. People aren't stupid. Everybody knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean the man was using that catchphrase for like the past 3 years he was there.
Here's a question for you guys. I wanted to ask you guys a question that I was thinking about just now. We talking about international star. What the hell has Shinsuke been not more been doing over the last couple of months?
Hanging out.
I don't know.
I saw him in DDT recently.
Well, I'm just saying, when that contract runs out, I see him on the first flight back to Japan, and when he leaves, I'm just gonna be sitting here laughing, drinking water, saying, "Well, you fucked up another one, didn't you, WWE?" I mean, he's a U.S. champion, and yet he hasn't been on pay-per-view since SummerSlam, and he hasn't even had a feud since Jeff Hardy. You can even call that a feud because Hardy really feud with Orton. Nakamura just a backdrop. So, I mean, you literally was not doing anything with him. He should have been in this World Cup.
And with that, even more so, it makes me fear or wonder that the next time he actually does defend said United States Championship, he's going to be dropping said United States Championship to whoever it is. I don't care, whoever on the SmackDown Live roster they have go up against him because of the fact that you just said, Kyron, that whenever he does actually next time finally defend it, he probably will be dropping it to said superstar, whoever you put there to be facing him. See, and maybe to please the fans, maybe you have a Rusev.
Well, they already fucked over Rusev being a babyface at WrestleMania, and then they took Aiden away from him for no good reason. But here's someone else they ain't done nothing with since really SummerSlam. Andrade. Where's Andrade? And Malik, you keep telling me can't everyone?
I forgot about him. Damn. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Malik, you keep telling me not everyone can be used from NXT, but the man's been on the main roster since after WrestleMania, and they barely use him. I mean,
he's in the same place Sanity is. He's there. That's where he is.
Oh, Sanity was even done worse. That's another group they completely screwed over. I mean, how many people have been caught up from this year that they screwed up? You got
Galanderson, Sanity, Almas are all chilling somewhere. They're not a main event.
Hold up, Clackman. Anderson and Gallows are still still employed.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly.
And people say, "Oh, SmackDown has a terrible tag team division." Well, whose fault is that when you only use New Day, the Bar, and the Usos? You have Sanity and Galanderson, and with Raw, you have no tag teams because Bobby Roode and Tag Gable have no heat. You don't know what to do with the Ascension. You fucked over the Revival, and the B team is stupid. So you really have no tag team divisions.
I hope on that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I don't really know what they're gonna do.
What's Carl and Anderson gonna do? Come out and say nerd every week? They got nothing for them, man.
I mean, and then people saying, "Oh, Velveteen Dream might get called up at the Survivor Series." Why? The man's only 22. He still can stay in NXT for a little bit longer because you know they don't have a plan for him. I stand by. Don't call anyone up from NXT unless you have a plan for them. I mean, like I said, Ember Moon's has been on the main roster since the Raw after WrestleMania, and she has not had one storyline. It's been 6 months. And Malik, you tell me I can't. Not everyone can be used at the same time. Not everyone can be a star. But 6 months is enough time to give a woman one feud, especially because Raw has 3 hours. And 6 months is enough time to give these teams and these wrestlers at least one feud. But not use them at all does not do anything. That just makes it worse because when they eventually are used, you get zero reaction. Or they get a jobber entrance. Like, come on. That's why I get upset. It's not people not being used, but when you do use them, there's no heat. Like, they kept Andrade off TV for, months. They finally used him, and the man came up with zero reaction. Whose fault is that?
I mean, it's, like I said, bro, there's only certain stars that are gonna have certain spots that be fulfilled that won't be touched. I mean, unless you If you're in the women's division, let's your name Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, or Ronda Rousey. You're secured, man. You're secured.
But I'm not supposed to complain about it, though. I'm just a negative asshole. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, you should see the show for what it is. Oh, you need to see the show from a positive angle. Well, when they give me something to be positive about, I'm positive about it. When they don't, I'm not gonna be. And that's just how it is. I mean, I have barely been positive all day. When it came to Evolution, the only thing I was positive about was Tony Storm and Io Shirai. So, I mean, if WWE had given us good booking for Evolution and had gave storylines and matches I cared about, I would not be up here being an asshole right now. But they didn't do it, so I'm gonna continue to do this until I get something quality.
Katrina, can I ask you a question? Which match on WWE Evolution are you most looking forward to?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a fair answer, Kat. That's a fair answer.
WWE doesn't care, so why should she? Which match in the card are you most disappointed by being on the show? It doesn't deserve to be there.
I honestly don't know what to expect out of this whole bit, so I'm not going with any expectations really. So I'm just going to kind of watch it blindly and how well they do.
Isn't that par for the course with WWE? You know, I'm just gonna see what happens, see what sticks. You know,
I mean, if it's good, like I said last week when I reviewed the show on my channel, if it's good.
No commitment needed. No commitment needed.
If it's a good show, I'll give them that props. It's a good show. I'll review it, and if it's good, I'll be positive and say it's good. But if it sucks, I will say it sucks. And I cannot wait. I'm being serious. I can't wait. Especially if my video is popular. When I upload it and I see the comments and people call me a misogynist or sexist because it's all
here we go.
Even though
go screw themselves.
Well, especially if the main titles change hands.
Oh yeah, you should have saw it, Kat. When I was talking about the main title switching hands, I said that I will destroy the show if that happens in my review, and I'm not. It won't be pretty. I'm being honest. I'll probably put $1 in for every swear I drop during that review, if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Overall reviews of the show. Let's go to a simple scale of a thumbs up, thumbs down, or par for the course. Do you think the show will be a thumbs up show like an average NXT takeover, a thumbs down show like the average WWE pay-per-view, or a thumbs in the middle show like the best WWE pay-per-view should be? So like yes. Yeah,
well, I'm optimist, so I'm going to say thumbs up because I'm always optimistic.
Thumbs up. Okay.
I'm saying thumb in the middle, man. It's definitely not going to be no NXT show.
It feels kind of meh to you? All right. Feels kind of meh? Okay. Like it's 2 matches might be good. Yeah.
There can be no NXT. Because there are going to be matches on the show that are going to be good. There's going to be good matches on the show. So
yeah.
I think it'll be an okay show. But it definitely ain't gonna be no NXT type show. It definitely not gonna be no NXT show.
Well, if you want me to go by my grading scale of letter grades, I'll give it a C. I'll give it a.
You think it's gonna be a C? You're going with C? Okay.
See, I've said it has bad build up, but you can't. I mean, with matches like Toni Storm versus Io Shirai, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch and Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler, there's 7 matches. If at least 3 are good, that's enough. If at least 3 matches are good, that's enough for me to at least give it a C+. But oh my gosh, I just can't wait for this show. And I'm not even
to be over.
Right reasons. Well, yes, I mean not even for all the right reasons either. Like I can't wait for the show because, like, for years I've always stood up for the women. I've always said how I want the women to have more chances. But yet you put so little effort into the first ever women's show. And the thing is, a lot of people saying, "Oh, I want the show to fail." I don't want this to fail for one specific reason. Because if it fails, they won't do it again. And this show deserves women's pay-per-view deserves a good booked show. Because I think that could be a great pay-per-view. But because the women do deserve that opportunity. So I'm not gonna say I hope the show fails, but you failed in the booking, so I don't expect a great show. Which is, I mean, then again, how many main roster pay-per-views have been good this year? I only got Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam, and maybe Hell in a Cell. The only pay-per-views I really like this year. Main roster, anyway.
Mr. WWE, Steve, what's your anticipation for this pay-per-view?
He's going to say it's going to be a good show. Come on, man.
thumbs up. I was saying it's.
Come on, man. You already know Steve's gonna say it's gonna be a good show, man. We know this.
They call him Mr. WWE.
Steve's positive though. Steve don't like to look at the negative things, so I mean I can't say I don't.
Issues with the build.
I got another friend like that.
The fact that I think they focus too much on it being like this whole all female pay-per-view thing, and kind of don't. I'm not one to really care about that sort of thing because I think the girls do deserve their chances in the spotlight because they work really hard and they've come a long way. But this whole all females thing seem more like a game more than sincerity to me. But that's my interpretation of the whole bit is more gimmicky than anything.
What did you think of the final go-home edition for SmackDown? Having 2 males in the main event and having the SmackDown's best feud for the females in a pre-tip segment at the Performance Center. Did it make you feel empowered as a woman that WWE's trying so hard, or what the fuck were they thinking?
Well,
I don't really.
Bring up first, please.
So, I really thought if it for a go-home show for a pay-per-view, it wasn't good. Just for a go-home show.
What the hell was the main event?
If it was a standard
Hardy versus Orton
episode, it would have been fine. But as for women's empowerment, I don't get into all that because I'm weird.
we love you for that.
Crossed my mind.
And we love you for that weird stuff.
I'm not a woman, but I definitely want to see the women used more because some of these women have better talent than the men do on the roster. So they should be used more, and they should be taken more like. There's certain women that I don't know. There's certain women that won't be used, but you can't tell me the fact that Sasha Banks is in this 6-woman tag when she's one of the top 3 best female wrestlers in the company, and she's being used in this female tag team match. It's why? You can't tell me that. You can't tell me you don't have nothing for her because there's plenty of things there's plenty of things you could have done with her already. You can't tell me there's nothing for her. There's plenty of things you could have done with her. She's one of the top 3 best workers in the female division, and she's being used in this 6-woman tag match. It's crazy.
Here's the funny thing. Clackman said, "Oh, what do you think about a go-home show?" I mean, Luke Owens on Wrestle Talk said it best in his SmackDown review. He basically said, instead of this the go-home angle for the first women's pay-per-view, you have one feud for SmackDown, and yet neither of those 2 women were even on in front of a live audience. But your main event was, I gotta be honest, I missed the last half. The second hour of SmackDown because I was rehearsing for something. But I heard how boring Orton and Hardy was to the point where the crowd was dead silent for it. So, and the best you can do for the women.
They've done that.
Exactly. You forgetting these 2 had a Hell in a Cell match less than 5 weeks ago. But he also said, and then what they have, a women's brawl that Asuka won. And Asuka's another one that they should have done a lot more with. But I mean, when Kyron complained about Asuka's beating a dead horse, I've been doing this since WrestleMania. It just intensified later on. But how long do we get? I mean, I don't get it anymore.
I go back and I watch stuff that I grew up on as a kid. I'm just why don't we do stuff like this anymore? This is when WWE was great. When we were growing up as kids, WWE was great. They were doing great stuff with Raw and SmackDown every week. And it's I understand things change and things can't be the same and things are different. But this is man, you got I watch stuff like this all the time. I'm just I just wish they would do some stuff like that anymore. I just miss those days.
Here's the funny thing. Isn't it kind of, it's not funny because it's obvious they did it, but isn't it cool how NXT managed to pull off a whodunit storyline in 2.5 months and involved everyone, and it was very good and had a shocking and satisfying conclusion. But the main roster, how many storylines over the last year can they say they've done completely good throughout and ended on a satisfying conclusion?
Dude,
and that's not rhetorical.
I can't even name the last storyline on the main roster that I actually was invested in heavily.
That had a good payoff. That made sense. That made you think. And proud to be a wrestling fan. Yeah. None in this year. None. I mean, all their build-ups have been to nothing. The old Dean Ambrose thing was teasing him turning heel, and when he finally turns heel, it's not shocking because he turned heel. Oh, thanks. We saw that coming.
The only reason that was shocking because of what happened earlier that night. And let's be honest, if what happened with Roman didn't happen, would Dean have turned heel? I don't think so because all the fans' emotions, the way it was, what happened with Roman and Seth and Dean winning the titles. Dean turning heel any other night would not have gotten the reaction they wanted. But you wouldn't have got it.
Well done. I thought his heel turn was really, really well.
They needed a hook for next week. That's what they did. They needed a hook for next week. They needed a hook, so they did that.
I'm damn sure going to watch next week because I want to see what's going to happen, which is saying something for Raw, especially because you know how negative I'm towards Raw usually. They actually did something.
You know, the most interesting thing about next week's hook is that now that Roman's not there and Braun is not a heel anymore, who's going to be the one to start off Raw this week? Who's going to be the guy?
It'll probably be Seth Rollins.
Dean Ambrose,
Seth Rollins. Dean, get your ass out here. Okay, I can see that. Okay.
He'll probably come out and like try to like not really get your ass out here, but he'll probably be like, "Why'd you do what you like?" Some type of shit like that. I don't know. Like,
why?
Start crying in the ring like, "Why would you do what you did?"
Although when Roman does come back in like 2 or 3 years, because that's how long it's going to take. I'm a hospice nurse and I do deal with cancer all day. So the pop that he's going to get if he comes back at like the Royal Rumble or something like that. That's pretty. 3 years, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, that pop he gets when he's going to come back. That's going to be some Triple H 2002 or John Cena Royal Rumble 2008 stuff right there. That's going to be a pop.
Right.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to that.
Like 3 years.
It's going to be a big pop. The main thing I'm interested in now, because we all know Roman was going to be in the main event of WrestleMania again. Now that he's gone, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the main event of WrestleMania. Because I've heard that they're planning on Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, but I kind of, I'm not sure if Vince is too high on that for him being the main event, knowing how he is. So I'm very interested to see what type of main event he's going to have for WrestleMania. For me, the main event, to me, I would love to see Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. I think that would be a good main event. Or AJ Styles with whoever. AJ Styles deserves to be in the main event too, and I would be happy to see him in the main event.
You want to know something that the report was before Roman, had to leave? That the report was that The Rock was going to challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title at WrestleMania. Yeah, that was going to...
The Rock was going to beat him. The Rock was going to beat him. The Rock was supposed to beat him. Yeah, and I know now I've been seeing stuff too that they're going to do. I've seen stuff that they're talking about Rock versus Cena 3. I've seen stuff about that. I've seen stuff about The Rock versus Brock Lesnar, which I would be okay with.
No, thank you. That sounds worse than Rock Cena 3.
I would much rather see Brock versus Rock Cena 3.
I wouldn't mind that.
I'd rather see Rock Cena 3 than Rock 2. Why is that? Because with Brock versus The Rock 2, do you want to see The Rock get suplexed for 20 minutes and then hit a couple rock bottoms and people's elbows and then the F5 is over? Cena versus Rock 3, I don't think it's going to be that good because their second match wasn't honestly that good, and really needs the first one. But at least those two are going to do more. At least Cena's going to do more than Reigns and Lesnar's ever going to do. Plus, promos between Cena and Rock is proven to be good. So I'll take Rock Cena 3 since they do technically need it. They do probably want to push the rubber match anyway.
Rock versus fight me.
You said what?
Rock versus AJ.
Would that work?
The only main event to me that would have made sense, but they're already doing it, would have been AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. But they're already doing that now, so it's too late for that. They can't do that.
My idea was,
AJ Styles. I guess AJ Styles versus John Cena. They have good matches.
Yeah, but it already peaked with two incredible matches at SummerSlam and Royal Rumble. Where can Cena and AJ go from here after the two incredible matches they already had? I don't see any reason to do another one.
You need a rubber match. It's a rubber match too. They're tied 1-1.
Actually, sorry, it's 2. Actually, it's 2-2 if you want to be specific. Because AJ won Money in the Bank, though it wasn't clean. AJ won at SummerSlam. AJ technically pinned John at No Mercy 2016. John won at Royal Rumble 2017, and John beat AJ at early on SmackDown to qualify for Fastlane. And don't forget, John pinned AJ at Battleground 2016. If you want to be specific, but if we're going by 1-on-1, it's 2-2.
Yeah, we're still gonna be homies. We're going to Impact. What's up? I'm down with that.
I would like to see AJ in the main event. Maybe the main event will be. We've heard that.
Hey, Clackman, can you mute your mic, please, Clackman?
Yes, man. Okay.
I've heard that that they're gonna do Triple H versus Batista, and he's gonna retire Batista. I mean, I get that. I could see that being the main event. I definitely could see that. I mean,
Cool with that. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that. If it's gonna be his retirement match, then that's fine. You know, he's gonna retire. It's cool. He's a legend. So I mean,
I mean, you can't tell me the Seeds weren't playing it at SmackDown 1000. My only problem is,
yeah, it definitely was.
You know, Batista said he wants to do a whole year-long, run and do house shows and everything. So, I mean, if the man wants to do it, why not let him do it? But if they're just going to bring him back for the one match, then that'll probably be he'll probably get inducted into the Hall of Fame the night before, then have the match. I mean, I don't know. But here's the problem with having any match made at WrestleMania nowadays, especially since WrestleMania 32, I'm sorry. With WrestleMania going 7 hours, counting the pre-show, it's too long. No matter what match you have in the main event, people aren't going to care enough. I mean, in the last 3 WrestleMania main events, I've nearly fallen asleep on, and that's not even Roman Reigns' fault. It's because because of who.
The last main event I actually cared about was probably Rock versus Cena, the first one. It's like that's probably the last one I cared about. Like, really.
You didn't care about the triple threat at WrestleMania 30?
No, because everybody knew Daniel Bryan was gonna win. I didn't care.
Who the hell cares if you already know who's gonna win? It was still a great match.
It was a great match, but I didn't care for the match because of the people who were winning. Like Batista, Reigns, I didn't care for those 2 people being in the match. So I personally didn't care.
Trust me. As much as they'd be fucked over Daniel Bryan, I was still a little bit nervous to whether Daniel was gonna win or not. I'll be honest. So I mean, he was gonna win because that's the only thing that saved WrestleMania. Because when Taker lost, that was the only thing that really saved the WrestleMania. I mean, but here's the thing: I don't mind a match being predictable if it's good. I mean, for example,
I don't either. It's just.
I mean, for example, everyone knew Bayley was gonna beat Sasha NXT Takeover Brooklyn 1 and the NXT Takeover Respect. Did those stop those matches from being good? No, those were incredible matches. Things that the women, Evolution should be built off of. But that's beside the point. But being predictable doesn't mean bad. I mean, it's pretty predictable the Wyatt family was going to beat the Shield at Elimination Chamber 2014. That was the best thing. That was one of the best matches of the year. So predictability doesn't mean.
I'm not saying if it's predictable. This is for me. I just didn't care for that match. This is for me. I didn't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nowadays everything's pretty predictable as it is. I really don't care. I'm gonna just see it for what it is.
Hey guys, right. I gotta get off here in a little bit. I gotta go in the morning and take care of some dead people. That's what I do, and so I don't want to be laying next to them falling asleep because they're cold. You guys are awesome. It was good being on here.
Good night, Kat.
Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, we should definitely say do anyway for this episode. I think Katrina being able to come on here, and of course Clackman, Kyron, and Malik being here from the start. We definitely will be talking more things next week. Of course, we'll be going over Evolution and everything that happened, what went down. I will have my right after event, my short version review on that Sunday night. So
that'll be great.
I definitely will be talking Evolution right after it does end. I will be doing one live blind reaction for a match that I usually do for each pay-per-view. This time for this event, I have selected to do a blind reaction for the historic Women's Battle Royal. So I'll be doing a blind reaction for that match, and then obviously watching the rest of the event. So that's just for the plans for the rest of the weekend for this channel for myself. So I'll let everybody put themselves over, let people know where they can find you on social media, blah, 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 as we do each and every week. And we'll start with Malik.
All right, guys, you can go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Narcolepsy Boy94. I do wrestling reactions Monday, Tuesday. I have reactions coming for you Sunday. I also do trivia videos. If you're into trivia stuff, all type of trivia stuff. I do live game broadcasting too. I do live stream playing video games for WWE, NBA, Madden, all types of stuff. And you guys can check me out.
All right, Kyron.
Follow me on Twitter, /BroKyron, my Instagram, /_Kyron, Tumblr, DeviantArt, Kyron Chase. My YouTube account, Kyron Chase. I do videos on wrestling, Sonic the Hedgehog, My Little Pony Friendship with Magic. I do reactions every now and then. I'm thinking about adding sports to my channel. I haven't decided yet. But I haven't been uploading on my actual channel due to me being in college. But I will be reviewing Evolution this Sunday night. And if not Sunday night, it goes up Monday.
All right. And Clackman.
Clack off on Twitter, Clackman on YouTube. I do highlight packages of wrestling from all around the world, WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact, OTT, you name it. If it's cool, it's going to be on my channel. I talk about the wrestling business. I talk about anime, talk about movies on there. So if you like all that stuff there, thank you very much.
Welcome, follow me on Twitter at the Ramble _WWE, on my personal Twitter handle at Army_Strong_06, Instagram and Snapchat at CBK_06. And of course, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, ring the bell so you know when the next video goes live or actually uploaded. Either way, so I thank everybody watching live that did watch live and those that will be watching archived. Hope to interact with all of you watching during the event on Sunday, whether there's more bad and uglies than goods, but we'll certainly find out. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and above all else, as always, take care.
Stay
Peace
beautiful.
out. Peace.